All right, here with Congressman Tim Ryan at the Iowa Steak Fry. How you doing?
I'm off diet. Diet starts tomorrow.
All right, so let's talk a little political strategy. We've talked policy in the past, so now the field is getting a little tighter,
Yeah.
and the debates they cut off to 10, 11 people.
Yeah.
So what's the strategy here? How do you stand out from the crowd?
We're going all the way to the caucuses and to the early primary states. I mean, we've kept our operation very, very lean. We weren't hiring hundreds of people. We've kept it small. And the goal was it's a marathon, not a sprint. And so here we are. How many people have dropped out? We're still going. We're raising enough money to keep going for the next few months. And we're going to be in the mix. And I think the debates, while they have some importance to them, I don't think they're anywhere near the importance that the media talks about. I think it's the early states, just like it always is.
So you're about to talk in a little bit. What's your pitch to these guys to say, out of all the 20 people left, it's got to be me. It's got to be me. This is what I'm going to do as president. What is that?
Yeah, well, I mean, part of it is the electability factor. I think most people I'm talking to now, they're saying, who's going to beat this guy? And I just believe I'm best positioned to beat him, not geographically, because I'm from Ohio, blue-collar town. We've got to win Michigan, Wisconsin, Western PA, and Ohio. And I think I give us the absolute best chance to do that with my background in supporting unions and working class issues, white, black, brown, men, women, like working class people. That's been my thing that I've been focused on. And that's what's going to, I think, help us win. And I think I can also help us win the Senate, because if I'm the nominee, I think the brand of the party changes from kind of a coastal brand, an Ivy League brand, to a blue-collar brand. And so who's going to go with the North Carolina Senate candidate? Who's going to go in with Jamie Harrison in South Carolina against Lindsey Graham? Who's going to be the nominee going into our race in Kansas, in Iowa here? I think that brand is a much better brand. And it's not like I lack any vision for the country either. I mean, I think the more people get to know me, I'm talking about regenerative agriculture. I'm talking about building electric vehicles and batteries and solar and wind and winning artificial intelligence. Right now, China's winning all of these things, and talking about social and emotional learning in the schools, trauma-informed care, mental health counselor in every school. Like, I've got a really big agenda, but everyone wants to talk about who can win, so that's why we talk strategy.
Right. So where would you put yourself, Tim, between, let's say, the more conservative wing, Biden, John Delaney, et cetera, all the way to Warren and Sanders, the most left wing? Where do you put yourself in that spectrum?
Well, I hate that discussion. I get it, I understand it, but I got to say, and we don't use hate in this household, okay? That's what I tell my kids, so here I am. But I think the left-right conversation is so old and tired, and it doesn't even make any sense, because technology, culture, has blown through the economy, blown through the left-right divide. And so when I'm talking about regenerative agriculture, as an example, it sequesters carbon. Farmers actually make money off it, because you basically don't need pesticides. You don't need as much fertilizer, so you make money because your inputs are down. And these farmers make some dough, and we sequester carbon, right? Is that left or right? Right? I don't know. But what I do know is there are farmers that are Republicans and libertarians who don't think climate is caused by man, but they want to sequester carbon. It's like, why would we have a left-right fight where there's not one? Move forward. Manufacturing. 80% of Americans support manufacturing. Social and emotional learning in the schools, supported by the American Enterprise Institute and the Brookings Institution, because it actually deals with the kids' trauma. So let's pick these issues that get us out of the left-right and move forward on them. And I think that's where the country wants to go. And so I know your audience, right? So social emotional learning in the schools, mental health therapies in the schools, trauma-informed care in the schools. Sounds pretty progressive to me. Regenerative farming, getting rid of pesticides on our food, getting rid of destroying our land, getting rid of algae blooms, getting rid of the dead zone at the mouth of the Mississippi River. Like, sounds pretty progressive to me too, right? And, manufacturing to build a renewable energy economy. Wind, solar, electric vehicles, batteries. So we can achieve very progressive goals by transforming the systems and staying out of this left-right conundrum that we're in now.
One last question here. Let's say that a Warren or a Sanders wins, just for a second, okay? And you're in Congress, and they say, Tim, I need your vote on Medicare for all. what do you do?
I would not if it's taken private insurance away. I think if we build the alternative system, let people get in over time if they like it, let it compete with the private insurance. And as I said, I think this is a very risky proposition. You look at the number of union people in these industrial states, they like their health insurance. They've negotiated it, they've sacrificed wages for it, and I think us going in there saying, we know you really like it, and we know your wages are down, and the whole world's collapsing around you, but we got a better idea for you. That's a loser in my mind.
You know, they have insurance. They'd have the Medicare insurance rather than the private insurance. You think they still would prefer their private insurance even though it covers less?
Here's what I'm saying. This is a bird in the hand, okay? And people don't trust politicians. They don't trust Washington. Democrats, Republicans. So any politician saying, we're going to take what you like best in your life, the most security you have in your life is your health insurance, we're going to force you to get rid of that. That's not a winner.
Okay. All right. Congressman Tim Ryan, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just talked to Congressman Tim Ryan. In these interviews, I'm asking them, I hope, interesting and challenging questions, and I'm letting them answer it. So in a context where they come and sit down for a longer interview, as I did with Tim Ryan earlier, we get to have fuller conversations. But even so here, I think we learned a lot from Congressman Ryan. He says, and the most important and interesting one was he's not going to vote for Medicare for all, even if a Democratic president asks him to. He explained why, and that's why we give him a chance to state his opinions, and he explained where he is or where he isn't in the political spectrum. So our job is to bring that to you guys, and you make the call. But I think that his answer there is very relevant for the rest of the field as well. So if Warren or Sanders were to win, how do they get reluctant Democratic congressmen to vote for these